Hi everybody, and this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, here to help. And in this short presentation I want to talk about something that's very powerful but not particularly practical. In other words, it's not something that you can do. It's not something physical, it's something that you can think, therefore it's something metaphysical. It's something beyond the physical, which is what meta means, beyond. It's beyond physics. But it's something that people tend to classify as woo-woo or a bit weird, a bit gobbledygook. But it's a realm that I've been investigating for over 40 years, and science has caught up with ancient beliefs, occult and spiritual beliefs, that vibration is really powerful. You're watching this because of vibration. I'm transmitting this from Thailand. You're receiving it wherever you are because of vibration, and you're probably watching it on an LCD screen, which is a liquid crystal display, which is vibrating. So having accepted that vibration is real and it's not woo-woo, and it's not something that we believe out of faith, it's something that's a scientific fact, I believe, taking it one step further, that our thoughts vibrate. We know they vibrate within our bodies because when you think about something, you can make something move in your body. I'm making that move, my hand, because I intend to. I think I want to move my hand, therefore that thought is communicated from my brain, and it works all the way through my nervous system to my muscles. There's a biomechanical shift, and I am animated, I move. So a thought creates a shift in form. Metaphysically, spiritually, we actually are able to do that beyond the confines of our physical body. And I'm going to get to the point in a moment. In the same way that you can press a button on a remote control and you can change the channel on your television, or press a button and lock and unlock your car without a lead, without any connection, it's a vibration through thin air. Your thoughts are transmitted to other things that can receive your thoughts through thin air. And if you don't believe it, Google 100th monkey syndrome. 100th monkey syndrome states, and it's a fact, that if a monkey in a tribe of monkeys in the jungle sees a snake or a cobra, then it can send a signal to every other monkey in that tribe, in that troop of monkeys. It can cry, in other words shout, and send a warning to watch for snakes, but it's known that even monkeys outside of audible sound of that monkey sending that verbal warning, that cry, that shout, that scream, pick up on the intention of the transmission from the monkey that saw the snake, and within 1/600,000th of a second, every monkey in that forest knows there's a snake that is a possible predator, and it's called the 100th monkey syndrome. And the actual scientific formula states that if more than 33 out of 100 monkeys pick up the signal audibly or visually within their normal five senses, touch, taste, sight, sound and smell, then the other 67 monkeys who can't see, hear or have any physical knowledge of the snake, they also know that there's a snake in that forest because they pick it up on the ether, they pick it up as a vibration. Now that's powerful. That's called the herd mentality. That's how birds fly in unison without communication. They pick up on vibration. That's how fishes swim in a shoal. Now we, as human beings, also have that ability, but it's dormant within us, and it's resurrected every time we pick up emotionally on something without it even being said. We can just feel it. We are empathic, we are intuitive. When we tune into these extra senses that are outside of our touch, taste, sight, sound and smell, our five physical senses, when we get into our extra senses beyond those five physical senses, that's when we move into ESP, metaphysics, and everything that I'm about with energy and consciousness. So how is this helpful? How can you use this in this current situation? in my opinion, and I've said it before, we should not moan, complain about the COVID-19 situation, about being locked in, about being self-isolated. Because not only do we communicate directly to the person that we're talking to or interacting with, it's communicated as a vibration out of us into our dwelling, into our street, into our neighbourhood, into our town or village, and into our community. And it dumbs down the intelligence of community. It sets up fear. Us moaning and complaining and negatively explaining actually sends out a negative vibration into the universe through thin air, and it damages society. We've got to be very careful what we think about, because it sets up a vibration that's damaging for everybody, particularly little kids who are in hypnosis all the time, very susceptible, very open-minded, very open-hearted, very trusting of us to be role models in times of fear and danger, which is what we're facing as a society, a community, and as a world, as a human race at the moment. And we've got to spread and vibrate positivity. Because trust me, even if you have a conversation when your kids are in bed, or even if you have a conversation when there's nobody about, that conversation is still lingering as a vibration to be picked up by anybody who walks into that space. That's how all the messages that are sent to you are still there waiting for you when you turn your phone on in the morning. They've been there all the time, and they're just waiting for you to turn your phone on, and boom, they land on your phone. All your moaning, complaining, all your negative talk and self-talk is waiting as a vibration for anybody that's in your vicinity. That's why attitudes are contagious. Attitudes and thoughts are as contagious as the virus, and this is where I'm here to help. Just stop thinking about it, stop talking about it. In fact, don't stop talking about it, start talking positively about what you're going to do positively to contribute, to assist, what you're going to do after the pandemic, what you're going to do positively with the time during the pandemic. And if we talk positively, that positive vibration goes out, and it directly is communicated to people that we're interacting with, but it's left as a vibration in the ether, in the thin air, like all the text messages, for when anybody else moves into that place that you're in, or that space. And that's how it works. And it is as powerful as that. You are as powerful as that. You can communicate non-verbally with your thoughts and have a powerful effect. Now, there's another metaphysical law, which is called the law of observation. We know, Google this, I'm not making this up, that there is 3 processes to think for things to go from thought to form. As I said, I can think and move my hand, but that's because you would say, I'm connected to my hand. How can I move something that I'm not connected to? And trust me, if you go on YouTube, you can see that I can do that on a good day. It's because there is a process whereby me as the observer, the witness, the person looking, can have an effect on what I observe through the process of observation. So there is the observer, the observed, in other words, what I'm looking at, and then by putting attention on it, I make a connection with it, and I'm actually joining with my molecules, my vibration, my frequency, my radiation has an effect on the things that I look at. And we know that's true. We know that you can talk to plants. We know that when you talk to children and you give children love, they grow, blossom and bloom. When you ignore them, they start causing trouble, because they prefer to be shouted at rather than being ignored. And that's why, and it's a good point, that's why kids often misbehave, so that they get the attention. They prefer to be looked at and shouted at and scolded and disciplined for attention rather than ignored for being good. So if you want your kids to be good, look at them, tell them you love them, give them attention, and they'll be good forever, because they'll want more of that. But objects, animate and inanimate objects, also work with the same law. Plants do it, animals do it. Put your attention on something, it grows, blossoms and blooms. And so do concepts and conversations. By looking at the good stuff, the positive stuff, you'll get more of that in your world. you'll actually stimulate the growth of more of what you want, which is the good stuff. What you put your attention on grows. But if you put your attention on the bad stuff, the bad news, the gossip, the negative stuff, then that will grow. We don't want more bad stuff. We don't want more death. We don't want more doom and gloom. So don't watch it. Switch it off. We don't want more of this death rate figures. We want survival figures. Start looking at and paying attention and giving eye contact and love to the positive things, and stop looking at the negative things, because whatever you put your attention on grows. Where attention goes, energy flows. And as a radiator of energy, we know that you can positively affect the outside world by where you put your attention. From thoughts come form. Whatever you think about, you can manifest. You can bring into reality. So think about happy times from the past, and you'll get more of that in the now, and project happy times into the future so that the happy future manifests quicker than the way it's going at the moment. We can speed up time and accelerate healing and get back our society by remembering the happy times and projecting it into the future, and stop talking about doom and gloom and how long we're going to be locked down. Because the more you talk about lockdown gets communicated and we get more locked down. Think about when you're going to be free. Think about when you're going to be doing lovely things, going back to the pub, going out for meals, going for a drive in the car, walking on the beach, taking your kids to the park, going shopping freely. Think about that, and that's what will expand. So, I've said a lot. This is a metaphysical here to help. You might or might not agree with me, but these are metaphysical laws, quantum laws that science supports. And that is how the world works these days. It works because we live in a quantum computer. We live in an organic, evolving universe that is evolving based on our thoughts. There's nothing that's around you in the room where you're viewing this, including the device that you're viewing it on, that wasn't an idea in somebody's mind and then it was manufactured. Everything goes from thought to form. It goes from nowhere to now here. Think about nowhere. Nowhere, nowhere. And then it becomes now here. Nowhere. Same letters, but you just shift the nowhere to the now here. We don't want COVID-19. We don't want this pandemic to continue. We don't want more death, more self-isolation, more locked in. We want that nowhere in our world. So have it nowhere in your mind. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Don't look at it. Don't entertain it. Don't energize it. And when we do that, what we want now here is peace, freedom. We want our lives back. We want our society back. We want our freedom back. We want that now here. So think about that now, and you'll get it now here. I'm here to help. If you have any issues, you know where I am. Be powerful. Think about what you want now here. Keep your mind on what you want. Keep your mind off what you don't want, and we'll create it based on 100 Monkey Syndrome. And we can do this because we're powerful, you're powerful, I'm powerful. I'm Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com. God bless.